to Reading with Miss B, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading a story called The Perfect Nest. It's written by a lady named Catherine Friend and a gentleman named John Manders. Now in the story, boys and girls, the main character is a cat, and the cat is trying to build the perfect nest. Does that sound right to you though, boys and girls? Do cats live in nests? No, they don't, do they? What types of animals live in nests? What kinds of animals build nests as their home? That's right, chickens, ducks, birds. That's right, owls, very good. So let's find out why the cat is building a nest. Shall we? Let's get started. Oh, this is a little picture in the book. Before we get started, what animal do you see is going into this barn over here? Does it look like a chicken? Yeah, it does. And there's a sign that says nest this way. I wonder why there's a sign that says nest this way with the arrows. Do you see that right here? Let's find it. The perfect nest. Jack the cat gathered together everything he needed to build the perfect nest, dry and cozy and just the right size. But the nest was not for Jack. With this perfect nest, Jack would attract a perfect chicken who would lay a perfect egg, which would make a perfect omelet for a cat like Jack. So that's his plan. That's why this cat is going to be building a nest. Do you think his plan is going to work? Do you see in the picture that there's a chicken walking towards the nest? Do you think that Jack's evil plan to trap a chicken is going to work? Why or why not? But the nest was not for Jack. With this perfect nest, Jack would attract a perfect chicken who would lay a perfect egg, which would make a perfect omelet for a cat like Jack. So that's his plan. That's why this cat is going to be building a nest. Do you think his plan is going to work? Do you see in the picture that there's a chicken walking towards the nest? Do you think that Jack's evil plan to trap a chicken is going to work? Why or why not?
Caramba, she cried, a perfect nest.
She hopped up and laid a small egg. Then a duck waddled by.
Sacrebleu, she cried, the perfect nest.
The duck pushed the chicken out, hopped up, and laid a medium-sized egg. Then a goose lumbered by.
Great balls of fire, she cried, a perfect nest.
The goose pushed the duck out, hopped up on the nest, and laid a large egg. Jack's mouth began to water. 3 eggs would make 3 omelets. Then the duck leaped onto the goose's back.
This is my nest.
And the chicken flew up onto the duck.
No, this is my nest.
The 3 cackled and quacked and honked, but each refused to leave the perfect nest. They squished each other for days. Each day Jack tried to get the birds off the eggs. Fire, fire, he cried. They didn't move. Flood, flood, he cried. They still didn't move. Wolf, wolf, he cried. But the chicken, the duck, and the goose would not move. Why do you think they wouldn't move from this nest? Finally, Jack stood before them. You birds are so silly. The next farm over has an even better nest. And it's empty. Why doesn't one of you use that nest? Boys and girls, why do you think that Jack wants the birds, the duck, and the goose to leave his perfect nest? Do you think he wants to keep those eggs to himself, maybe? What does he want to make with those eggs? Ah, that's right, an omelet. Let's see if they listen. An empty nest, cried the chicken, without a goose to sit on my head?
Ay, caramba.
Sacrebleu, cried the duck. I'm tired of smelling like the chicken. That nest is mine.
Great balls of fire, cried the goose.
Out of my way! And they all flopped away. As you can see, Jack's plan worked. What did those birds leave behind, boys and girls? The eggs. Let's find out what Jack does with the eggs, shall we? Alone at last, Jack returned to the nest and peeked inside. He arranged the eggs neatly in a row. Small egg, breakfast. Medium egg, lunch. And large egg, dinner. Jack's stomach rumbled. But then, boys and girls, do you think something's gonna interrupt Jack from getting his eggs to make an omelet? What could possibly go wrong?
Crack.
The small egg broke open and out popped a wet baby chick who looked up at Jack and said,
Ay caramba! Hola, mama!
Then all of a sudden, crackety snap, the medium-sized egg broke open and out scrambled a wet baby duck who looked up at Jack and said, Sacable bonjour, mama. And then crackety boom! The largest egg broke open and out stepped a wet baby goose who looked up at Jack and said,
Great balls of fire! Howdy, Ma!
Oh no, boys and girls, look at Jack's face. How is he feeling about these eggs cracking? Doesn't look like he's gonna get his omelet, does it? Jack stared at the babies. What was he to do? He couldn't make omelets out of the babies.
Dry me, dry me, dry me, dry me!
Cried the soggy baby chick.
Feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me!
Cried the hungry baby duck.
Play, 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 play!
Cried the excited baby goose. Jack looks horrified. Look at his face. Ha ha! He wanted eggs to make omelets, not baby chicks to take care of. Jack hid in the barn. The three babies found him. So he hid in the woods. But you know what, boys and girls? Those three babies found him again. So Jack hid in a tractor. And can you guess what happened next, baby girls? Are you noticing a pattern? That's right, the three babies found him. And you know what they did, boys and girls? They dragged him back to the perfect nest he built. Oh, sweet justice. Sleep, 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 the tired babies finally whispered. Cold, 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 said the shivering babies. Jack scratched his head. Someone had to care for these babies, but there was no one else around. Boys and girls, what do you think Jack's gonna do? Do you think he's gonna give the babies back to the chicken, duck, and goose? Or do you think he's gonna take care of them himself? Jack lifted all three babies into the nest. Buenas noches. Jack lifted all three babies into the nest. Buenas noches, mama, said the baby chick. Bonne nuit, mama, said the baby duck. Sweet dreams, ma, said the baby goose. Then Jack climbed into the nest, and the babies fell asleep. That's when he realized that this really was the perfect nest. That's the end of the story, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed this story. Look at how peaceful they are sleeping. It really does look like a peaceful, perfect nest, doesn't it? Boys and girls, is there a chair at home or space in your house that is like your perfect nest that you like to go in? What would you do if someone tried to take it away from you? Would you concoct some kind of evil plan to get them away? Or would you share your perfect nest the way Jack is sharing his perfect nest with these baby chicks? I want you to think about that. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time with Reading with Miss B. Bye.